Hey everyone, my name is Swapnil Mathur. No matter what these editors put my name as, my name is Swapnil Mathur, just Swapnil Mathur. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the Mass Fidelity Core, a Bluetooth speaker that I actually have spoken about in an earlier video regarding the first impressions, but now I've used this for a while. Actually, I've used this for a very long time. And so here's the review of this roughly 35,000 rupee speaker and whether you should buy one for your home or not. So first, let's talk about what's so special about this. Now, this speaker actually measures just 6 inch on all sides. It's 4 inches tall. It's got a beautiful acrylic black top, and on the back gives me a lot of ports. It has a subwoofer out in case you want to invest in Mass Fidelity subwoofer unit. It has an auxiliary input, it has an optical out, it has a USB port that you can use to charge your phone, and it also has a power port. And now the speaker doesn't actually require power to run it because it has an inbuilt battery, 12-hour long battery life, pretty impressive. So, and the front is just mesh. So the way you tell what the front side is of the speaker is because you've got buttons to tell you that this is the front side. And what you have here is a speaker with 2 speakers in front, custom designed speakers, 1 on each side, and 1 bottom firing which acts as a subwoofer. So you've got 5 custom tuned speakers in total. And the reason for this is Mass Fidelity says that the speaker produces something called holographic sound, which is that no matter where you are in relation to the speaker, you're always going to get stereo sound. Normally what happens is if you have a speaker placed in front of you and you move to the right, you'll only hear the right side, the more focus is on the right side. If you move to the left, then the more focus is to the left. But with this, it should be balanced. So that's what Mass Fidelity says the speaker can do. It takes immense amount of engineering effort to create something like this, and we figured we'll test whether their claims actually stand up or not. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things. Tested this out as a music speaker and also tested this out as a soundbar because Mass Fidelity says that this is good enough to replace your soundbar. And sorry, I'm having allergies today, so my nose is very itchy. Okay, so we're going to talk about this as a music device first. We were told that in order to get the most out of the sound system that is the speaker, it needs to have a specific placement with a wall at the back and 2 walls equidistant from each side. So that's essentially, so imagine I'm the wall and then 2 walls here. And what that does is it allows the sound waves emanating from the speaker to bounce off these walls and create holographic sound. Yeah, so that's basically how it works. But unfortunately, in my house, that is not the case. In my house, in my room, in the various rooms in my house, in fact, there is not a single spot where I could put the speaker according to these specs. There was always either there's no wall on one side, or there's a wooden surface, or there's glass, something or the other, right? So that became a problem. So I took the help of a friend who does have a setup which is very similar to what Mass Fidelity says is ideal, and listened to the speaker there. I listened to this, of course, in my house because let's face it, not all of our houses are going to meet the specs that this speaker requires. Now, what's very obvious is that the sound coming out of this is intricately detailed. We played a lot of Joe Satriani, a lot of Metallica, a lot of Tool, plenty of electronic music, everything from Chemical Brothers to Fatboy Slim, Daft Punk, Infected Mushroom, all kinds of genres, right? And what's really obvious is that the speaker handles its highs very well. The roll-off is super smooth. What also is obvious is that while Mass Fidelity says that this is bone-shaking bass, it's really not. But the good thing about that is that the bass is not going to completely drown everything else out. It does happen with certain songs, it does happen with certain kind of music, but not everywhere. For example, with Metallica's Fuel, the double bass drum in the song, you can hear it, but it's not overpowering everything else. The other thing was that sometimes, the cymbals and the hi-hats kind of mix together. They sound very, very similar. And I mean, For a speaker that cost so much, it was very impressive how detailed the sound was. But at the same time, was it holographic? I don't think so. And the reason for that is I often noticed that when I moved around the room to listen to the sound of the speaker, there was sometimes delay. So there was a gap in sound, in the sense that I could hear something and then I would hear it again. Not an echo, but the delay. So think of it like this: left channel is going slightly behind the right channel, so there is that delay. And it wasn't in every case. It only happened when I was at an extreme angle. So for example, if this is the front and I was extremely at this end, then it would happen. Or if I was extremely at this end, that would happen. But ideally, when you would place the speaker, you would place it in a way that you're within, let's say, about 60 to 65 degree, what is the word for that? About, you know what I mean, right? Within 65 degrees of the center of the speaker. Sorry, I'm a math nerd, so forget that. Then the second claim that Mass Fidelity makes is that this speaker could be good enough to replace your soundbar. I don't agree with that one bit. Reason being, right off the bat, the speaker was not loud enough for me to enjoy the movies I was watching. Now, for rom-coms and stuff, it's good because the dialogue is, again, crystal clear. It's amazing how clear this is. But when it comes to action movies, for me it was, for example, Matrix Revolutions or Pacific Rim. Please don't judge my choice of movies. There are scenes where, because of all the sound effects and the heavy explosions, the dialogue was getting muddled. And that's simply because the speaker is not big enough, or there's not enough separation inside this one little thing to handle all of the sound. A lot of times it felt like this thing was a little unmatched for the amount of sound that was coming in and what was being put out. There was a mismatch there. So, the real question therefore becomes, is this a good soundbar replacement? I would not recommend it, simply because for 35,000 rupees, you can actually pick up something that's a lot more tuned to your specific needs. For example, we just reviewed the JBL 2.1, which costs about 22,000 rupees. Does very well as a soundbar. So, I don't think a Bluetooth speaker can be a replacement for a soundbar just yet, but this is a very good step in that direction. What Mass Fidelity has done is shown that a speaker could step up to that challenge, and in some cases the speaker does. Even DTH content sounded pretty amazing, right? So there's no, because again, the sound is fairly simplistic. It's not very rich, so to say. It's not populated by multiple frequencies and multiple different volumes or levels of sound. So that when it's simplistic like that, the Mass Fidelity Core does very well. But for things that are very, very detailed and require, let's say, a scene where, in fact, in the Matrix Revolutions, the scene where the machines have tunneled through to Zion and there's only one APU left, and there's a little bit of dialogue happening there, there's a lot of shooting happening there, and there's explosions happening. So that whole thing sounded very confusing. It just sounded too much was happening at the same time. So but when I listened to that on the JBL, it sounded all pretty good. So I don't know if this is a viable alternative yet, but as a Bluetooth speaker, I actually I really like this. This has been playing music for me every day now. I don't have to turn on my computer so that I can power on my hi-fi system, and this has been doing the job very well as a music player, as a Bluetooth music player in my room, which is about 20 feet by 20 feet wide, 20 feet by 20 feet. So yeah, so that's the review of the Mass Fidelity Core. Thank you guys for watching, and in case you like this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. In case you did not like the video, make sure to leave us a comment, and we will try to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes again. Thank you guys for watching.